Good morning, and I hope you've been well, and this is part 178 of the Pokemon Rejuvenation V13.5 Let's Play, set mode, no items, so yeah. So before we get into today's episode, I would like to get into a small mistake that I made at the initial recording of this episode, so if you don't want to listen, that's fine. You could skip ahead about a minute or two. It really shouldn't be that long, and I'll try to speed through it, so yeah. So earlier within a day, I decided to record some Rejuvenation, and I got about 10 something minutes in, and of course I ended up seeing the Gauntlet battle. Yes, I'm aware Malia gave us the warning on the last episode if I'm not mistaken, but I initially thought that that battle would have happened a little bit later within the story, and not so soon. I decided to stop the recording. I stared at the Gauntlet battle for about a minute, and I was like, yeah. Let's just stop here and let's go back to the lab and try out some stuff, fail a lot, and hopefully create something that will work with that battle. I will get more into the team and my thought process when we get to that point, but for the time being, I thought I would just share that real quick. I am hoping the team that I built will work against it. I won one time with it and failed a whole lot more, so yeah, it's a really difficult battle. I'm gonna safely assume most would agree that it is one of the most, if not the most difficult battle within the game, since it is 6 versus 18, and with me being on set mode no items, it definitely adds more of a challenge to it. But of course, I'm sure there are many people that have gone through that battle and prevailed, so I don't see why I can't either. Regardless, I just kind of thought that I would say that here and now, and then I'll get more into details when we get to that battle. Okay, that's pretty much it. Alon, Aaron would like to speak to you. Alon, just the person I wanted to see. Before I get into the issue, new letters have appeared. The letters J, N, and O. Let me actually write that real quick. Kind of sucks because I have some of these letters on like different post-it notes, so I'll have to find those and connect the dots on all that. But to be fair, I believe I remember what it initially spells out regardless, but yeah, but again, I'm not gonna spoil that for people. Anyways, enough of me rambling on and being dumb and tripping over my words. Right now that that's settled, there's a little bit of a problem. Cannon and I were going on a run when we noticed this in front of the village. It speaks for itself. To whom it may concern, on behalf of Lady Angie, I require various items from the people of Sashala village. They are as follows: cooking essentials, a large sea vessel, clean bedding, 3 eggs, 10 gallons of milk. If our demands are not met, then Sashala village will be turned into a frozen wasteland. Please deliver these items to me at the Ugly Fort right near Zorillian Coast. Threatening to freeze over Sashala village, clearly Angie's wrath knows no bounds. Yeah, so we think this letter is full of crap. Why? Now, I think both options are neutral. They don't gain or subtract points. I guess I could look at the point guide real quick just in case. Yeah, let me do that just in case, actually. Alright, I'm back. Sorry for the pause there. I was right about that. It is neutral either way. It does not add or subtract points. It comes down to the method. This isn't really Angie's style. If Angie wants something, she just takes it. So that being said, we're going to pay Sierra a little visit. Wait. Can you let me handle this? If you want to try, sure, but I'm not going to let you go there by yourself. At least let us hang around. You can do the talking if you like. That is satisfactory. Then there we have it. Let's make our way to the Ugly Fort near the coast. This should be Fort Rystrine. Sierra's around here somewhere. Are there bandits in this area? Yes, and to be specific, there's Zen grunts that have gone AWOL. Damien and Alon insisted that they're harmless, and I trust that judgment somewhat. That's reassuring, I think. Now, I'm kind of curious if you actually don't do the Badland Baddies side quest when you get to this point within the story. I assume there'd be some different like text and dialogue with what, you know, Aaron and Cannon says, but I don't think anything really like wacky happens with those people. I'm not certain actually. I am kind of curious though. Guess this is the spot. I think Sierra is in here. Servant senses or something. Actually, yes. Oh, really? Interesting. I'll have to put that down in my notes. Funny. Right, let's get this done. Yeah. Now I am going to save right here. And of course you can see the team here. I'll get more into details on that wacky team in a moment. I'm sure some players notice a few things and are like, yeah, I know what you're up to. Anyways. Hey. Oh, are you all here to yield to my demands? What are the odds that my letter reached all the people I hate the most? What are the odds that a popsicle like you is still running around after such an embarrassing defeat? You're coming with us. Don't you dare touch me. If you don't give me what I ask for, then Lady Angie will turn Sashila into one giant glacier. Okay. What? Do it then. Are you suicidal or something? Angie isn't here, is she? You're here alone. Why? It's because of you too. Lady Angie has been different ever since our defeat. I thought if it was because... Sorry. Read that wrong. I thought it was because... No, I think I have the right. Who cares? I mess up all my words anyways. Whether I did or didn't, sorry. Was because she was writhing with rage and dubious intent, but one day she just disappeared. She disappeared? Yes, can't you hear? You stupid little cotton swab. She didn't say anything about what she was doing or where she was going, but I have no doubt in my mind that she still needs me, which is why I require the items on your list so that I can make my way back to the manor. I'm sure she's there wondering where I am already. Just teleport to her whatever it is you servants do. I bet you think you're so smart I've already tried. I can't sense her anymore. Something happened to her in that battle. Which was your fault, by the way. Something is wrong here. Something is wrong. Give me my items. We don't have your items, Sierra. Just stay put. Everyone, I believe we should leave. Why? As of this moment, Sierra is not a threat. Angie has cut contact with her. What are you talking about? This is something I learned long ago when I was with Nimra. The master of a servant has the ability to cut their servant off. As a result, the servant loses their ability to do things like teleport near them. I believe this is what has happened to Sierra. No, that's not possible. Angie is my master. Let's leave then. What do you mean you're leaving? Fight me. That's what you want, right? You want to hurt me. Send out your Pokemon. And I think Aaron and I are making the right decision by listening to canon. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about all of this real quick. It's not a spoiler rant, but a rant nonetheless. So, yeah. It's really interesting connecting the dots on certain things. I can't say it's exactly the same as Gira, but it's very similar in a sense. I don't think Gira is a servant by any means. I think I went on this rant before that if you remember the Gurren Lake quest within Sashila Village, I don't remember exactly the name of the quest, but it's with the one construction worker that has lost a lot of his memories, and as we go back and forth to the past and to him, we help him remember what has happened. And eventually he was like, I had a wife named Helen or Helena, I had a baby boy, they were in a Voidal Chasm, should I go after them? We made the choice to tell him to go after your wife within the Voidal Chasm, and now he's gone. You can make the choice for him to stay within the village or to go after the wife. I don't know what is good or what is bad, but in my opinion, I made the decision to allow him to continue to look for his wife. So whatever happens, happens. So going to the baby boy though, I believe the Voidal Chasm, the whole thing went down with Storm 9 and whatnot. Indred, I believe, came across the, young boy or infant, whatever Gira was at the time. And he pretty much took care of him, molded him, and taught him all sorts of different things. And now you have Gira somehow joining Team Zen. Now you know him with that weird shadow ghost thing that's always been around him. Remember Valor Mountain? Crescent does the one thing on the teleport pad. He breaks into 1,000 something pieces. He's been built back together by Anastasia. We go into battle with him at Axis Factory, and after the battle, he's like, I don't get it. I should be mad. I should be frustrated. I was hoping going after you, battling you, would reignite that fire, that flame in me. But I'm not mad anymore. I don't get it. I should be pissed off. I should be frustrated. I should be fuming. But I'm not. And I don't know what happened. And of course, the explosion happened. The essence thing, it's gone. Go back to Lady Angie. Back at the manor, chapter 13. You see the scene where you go into battle, and then we defeat her, we knock her out, and you see that ghost kind of thing float on out of her that keeps saying leave, 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 essence, 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 and it's gone. We collect some samples, we go our way, we don't know what happens to Angie, and here we are now. Clearly, something happened to Angie. It's not exactly like Gira, but I do believe that it's very similar, because Gira is a human, right? At least I would think so. Sierra's just a servant, created by Lady Angie. So I don't know if that battle that happened within V13 caused her power to be more weakened, to lose contact with Sierra, or to be like, you know what, I'm not strong enough to have a servant with me, or even the latter, what they initially said before. She cut ties with Sierra. She was like, you know what, you're weak, I don't really like you anymore, you've been nothing but a failure, bye. I don't really care what happens to you, so I'm gonna do my thing, I don't need you anymore, and bye. So yeah, just something that's interesting to point out and talk about within the story, because again, I know for new players they can get very stuck, lost, and confused, because there's a lot to this game. There really is. If you really look at the chapters, peel back the layers, and remember these certain events, in some way, shape, and form they somewhat connect and whatnot. So yeah, while there are some differences, I believe it's very similar, and at the end of it, Indred is the one that I go back to. That is the root of a lot of the issues that are happening. If you want to talk about this, you know where to find us. I don't want to talk to you, right? December 13th, 2 a.m. Now, before we do this, I guess another point that I want to say as well is I again can't praise this chapter enough. I know I've been saying this a lot, but it's really cool seeing, you know, the connection that, you know, or well, connection's the wrong word, the friendship that has been forged and made stronger and stronger by Aaron and Cannon. You see the both of them talk. Cannon says, trust me on this, and Aaron's like, okay, if you don't think she's worth fighting, I believe you, you're cool, I'm on out of here. You see Aaron grow as a person, and Cannon is also growing as a person, not always being the servant. He's now evolving into his own person, making his own decisions. And back then, Aaron said it before, I wasn't really comfortable around you and whatnot because of the whole servant, you know, thing you had going on, but now you're your own person. I believe you. If she's not a threat, I'm not gonna battle. It's a waste of time. I don't need to. It's really cool to see how this chapter has been played out and made. Anyways, on to pain and suffering. Alan, we entrusted our lives to you, but you spat on our face and threw us away. Was everything just a lie? Were we wrong to trust you? Wrong word. You were our friend. We won't let you get away with this. Inevitable grief with like the battle. Okay. Like I said before, when some got a little sneak peek at the team, I think we all know exactly what we're doing here. We're making a rain team, and we're using a great move called Water Spout. Now, before I get into the team, I want to go over this real quick. This has took me an hour plus to finally make a team that worked. Initially, I had a rain team in mind, and I had, honestly, most of these members were on the original team. It was mainly one Pokemon that I kept changing. Like, I tried Talonflame, I tried Meowstic, I tried that Barraskewda Pokemon, and I really had high hopes for it, but I just didn't really like using it, honestly. It just didn't really do a lot for me in this battle. There's probably a few other Pokemon that I'm forgetting, but it was mainly one that I had to keep changing. The rest really did good on its own, but of course, as you can see, I went on ahead and chose a Golisopod for this battle. Now, going over the team movesets and all real quick in the items and natures. We'll do that here. And there we have it. Let's get this show on the road. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I initially kind of thought, when I first went through my PC, I was like rain team, because initially when I saw the battle, I looked at the field and I remembered and saw that there's always going to be a rain field. And I remember an older comment, I think it was during the Terrajima arc, being like, hey, you use very similar Pokemon. Why not switch it up a little bit? And I was like, you're right. I definitely do use the same teams and whatnot. So I do remember him mentioning, well, he or she, I believe it's a he, but regardless, not really important. They were telling me that, you know, going off of teams that work well against the field, making a weather team is going to definitely be really good for me. I know I don't really do a lot of weather teams, but with this battle it makes perfectly sense. So going off of their advice from the past and seeing that the rain is permanent on this field, I kind of thought a rain team makes the most sense. Now, Water Spout. Normally I tried not to get into stuff like Water Spout, Counter, Mirror Coat, stuff like that. Yes, I've done it before. I'm not usually the biggest fan of it, if that kind of makes sense, but for this battle it gets the exception that I'm just gonna throw all I can at it. So yeah, it's a 6 versus 18 and I don't feel too bad doing this. And plus, with it having adaptability, it makes the most sense. And plus, whatchamacallit, I forgot who said it, but a commenter brought it up before, that this Frostus here is an absolute menace. And I was like, you know what, let me just try it on the rain team. And no, they were not lying. This thing is an absolute menace. I guess you'll see in a moment here, but yeah, we'll go on ahead and get it going with this. So these two are now gone. Greninja, Seviper. Now what sucks is I think the Corviknight is the one with pressure, so we only have 2. Now with it being timid, somehow I'm able to outspeed Greninja, so I just go for Giga Drain and Stone Edge on the Seviper. Wait, did I go for the wrong move? I did. My bad, hold up, let me redo that. Okay, my bad. Ignore that I made that misplay there. I guess technically, to be fair, this is take number 2, but I did not mean to do that, sorry. Water Spout, Aqua Jet. For the Kabutops, honestly, it doesn't really matter if you go for Aqua Jet. Water Spout pretty much takes them both out, so you could really do any move that you want. I would still say not go for Stone Edge, because there's no point in wasting the PP points on that. Let's see, let me not do what I did there. So, Stone Edge you, get rid of the Seviper, Giga Drain. I think I actually went for Aqua Jet on Seviper. I think that's the mistake that I did. Regardless, don't do what I did on the first run there. So we have Toxtricity and Charizard. Now, of course, this is a Mega Charizard. What I've learned is Scald still takes out this guy, and Stone Edge OHKOs the Zardex here. So again, I'm still saving on Water Spout, and that crit did not matter at all. Just to say it real quick. How could you? Now, of course, I think you kind of see what's happening here. I'm still trying to keep as much Pokemon as I can, keep the momentum good. Alon, I thought you were my closest friend. I still want to believe that we are. Don't be fooled by their lies. That's all they are. A manifestation of lies, deceit, hate. There's no soul in there. You're wrong. Alita, I won't lose you too. I'll show you their true color. Inevitable grief or like the battle. Now, I'm gonna be honest, it's this battle where things get a little bit shaky. So initially, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a minute since I've done this battle, it was like earlier within the day, but I should outspeed, Giga Drain, Okos the Starmie, Stone Edge takes out the Cherim. Okay. So far, we're in good shape. It's these two Pokemon that have always caused me issues. So, what sucks is, no matter what, I have to swap out Penelope. Normally, I like to go into Rotom, so I think that makes the most sense because the Hawlucha normally goes after Penelope for obvious reasons. Ronnie here, unfortunately, with the Rock Stone, Stab, Boosted, Stone Edge, and of course the Field Upset as well, does not OHKO any of these two. They're both able to take the hit. So that's where I need to think a little bit. If I... And of course, just to say, no matter what, Ronnie gets OHKO'd here. I can't save him. Florges. Let me think for a moment. If I'm not mistaken, unfortunately, even with Swift Swim, Trident does not outspeed the one guy, the Hawlucha. I'm gonna do something a little bit different. This might be a misplay. Okay. Zangoose, Absol. I kind of want to keep Golisopod if I'm gonna be honest. And I'm sorry for the silence. I'm really thinking about this because I really want to get this done, you know? I don't want to spend a lot more time on this. If I keep Golisopod alive, because I feel like it's wise to do so. Hydro and Zangoose, I don't know if it takes it out, but I think it might. I don't know, because like I really need Trident for that final battle because of Malia's team. Trident does extremely well, but so does this guy. I cannot go back to Penelope, sorry, because I really need it to be healthy. And I don't want to die because Water Spout does a lot of damage, as a lot of you saw. Let's be a little... Yeah, let's do it. Okay. There's only one choice. No, this is impossible. Why us? What do we do? I knew this time would come, but don't worry, Alon. I don't take it personally, really. I don't. Some things just don't work out, am I right? Bygones be bygones, bygones be gone. Inevitable grief were like the battle. Okay, let me think about this. If I'm not mistaken, right? No, yeah. Togekiss, or Happy, sorry, is the Zoroark, if I remember correctly. Unity, no matter what, Trident outspeeds, and yes, it should OHKO, but I don't know. See, that's the thing that's tricky. Like, it's a Zoroark, right? Like, I think Adaptability Scald, I think, takes it out. I'm kind of scared. Does it? I think it does. Okay, good. Yeah, it does. It definitely does. Okay. Diligence, patience. Right, that Mimikyu is really, really tricky. If I, with Trident, go for Scald on Diligence, Water Spout should get rid of Diligence. I strongly doubt it's gonna get rid of Patience, and I believe that's a Mega Snorlax if I remember. So I think no matter what, the play is to Water Spout and just Scald. That's gone. I am shocked that we took the hit. Now, unfortunately, Water Spout, it's not going to do as much as it would normally do. Let me think about this. Well, the problem is, I believe the crest on Serenity, when I was looking into it, I think it's like 15-20 something percent like defense, like boost all around from like super effective moves. So I know that, unfortunately, well, I mean, I guess to begin with, I don't think an Ice Beam from Trident would OHKO without the crest. I don't think so, but still, it would have done a lot more. But regardless, what's done is done. I think, what do I still have left? Golisopod, Celestia. If I... let me think about this. If I Ice Beam Serenity, get damage on it, I think damage is going to be crucial on it. But at the same time, I'm honestly highly considering just double teaming Patience. Because I think Scald gets rid of that. I don't know. It kind of like sucks too, because it's like, I really want to think about this, because like if I make the wrong move, I have to redo all of this again. And we got a really good run going on here. Let me pause and actually think about this. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for the pause there. I thought about it for a little bit. I think the only thing that makes sense is just Scald and just go for Ice Beam. Okay. That burn was really nice. I forgot how weak that... I forgot how weak it was. Is it like low? Going to you. Okay, it is low. Hydro, Ice Beam. That's gone. Hydro should take it out. What's left? Okay. I did it! Oh my god. I don't normally get this way with almost like any battle, but oh my goodness, dude. Oh. I don't think that crit even mattered because... yeah, because like we would have like T-bolted anyways. I want to let you know, I wish I can have like myself like recorded going like an hour something into this, you know, like changing this, redoing the nature, and just slight modifications. I want to let you know, my heart stopped when I saw the Swampert died. I was like, that's a Mega Swampert. That would have done so well. When I saw that thing get OHKO'd, I was like, there was a part of me that was like, I was kind of hoping that it would barely live because it's a Swampert, but no, it just wasn't. And that one, of course, was like max speed, max HP. It wasn't like defensive swamp, so yeah, seeing that go down, I was like, oh, but we did it. We did it. I'm gonna safely assume that now I definitely will YouTube some of this because I'm curious on other people's teams on how they go about this with set mode no items, but I would have to guess most have to go into the direction of a rain team. I'm sure there's a few people that go outside the box and do something that I didn't even think about, but I don't know, if like permanent rain, it fits so beautifully for a rain team. And I don't even use rain teams rarely at all. Even when I used to play like competitively on like Showdown many years ago, I almost never use rain teams. I think the only like weather-based teams that I really ever used, honestly, and it was rare, honestly, it was just sand teams. That was pretty much it. Yeah, I know I've tried like whatchamacallit, I tried like a mix of like a sand and like a sun team at the same time too, with like Zard Y, T-Tar, Exadrill, and a few other like random stuff, but yeah, I don't know what else to really say. I'm really happy with this. Even this is necessary, isn't it? I'm gonna be honest, I did not expect to actually like go through this like technically 2 tries because my first initial error, but I really thought I would have been here for most of the episode. I'm really happy. Good job, Alon. You managed to survive the Gauntlet. I'm sorry if that was uncomfortable for you, and no hard feelings with the last match. But with the data collected from your battles, it should be complete now. It was necessary, but I feel awful for creating this. How many people will it hurt? It's going to tear away at so many lives. End of night. The obliteration spell. Please accept it, Alon. Now, initially, when I went through the game, first time going through V13.5, I always found that scene interesting, and I questioned Malia heavily, like, why such a thing? But you know what? Yeah, let's do a spoiler rant on that before I get any further. If you don't want to listen, that's fine. Go to the comment section below, timestamp there. So what is that? Oh yeah, just go there. Okay, we are in spoiler territory one final time. If you do not want to listen, timestamp in the comment section below, timestamp there. Yeah, okay. So initially, like I brought up a few moments ago, I always got confused, like why such a spell? Why do we need to tear away our lives? But again, go back to a lot of the theories that I brought up in the past. Light and dark, dark and light, they need to be together, as Bob Ross has said on, you know, his show and whatnot numerous times. You gotta have both. Light and dark, good and bad. However you want to word it, you need both. I know that it sucks, and Malia said it as well. It's gonna tear many lives. I feel bad for what I'm about to do, but this is a necessary thing that needs to happen. It has to be this way. Go back to the Renegade route, how we somehow ended up with the obliteration spell. Go back to, you know, Paragon route, how the Mesphreds are not too happy with us at all. Renegade route, Paragon, they play off of one another. You need both to make this happen. And I believe that is exactly what is going on with the obliteration spell. Is it fun? No. But is it necessary? Yeah. In order to create a miracle, as Malia said at the very start of this, and with her going through Zeit, learning new things, messing around with it, she's learning, experiencing on what needs to be done. And unfortunately, this is something that needs to be done. You can't have light without dark. And I could be wording this more specifically towards the game, but I'm just going to keep it very simple and not get into a very long tangent about it. So yeah, I just thought I would clear that up real quick, that I think pretty much it just plays off of the Renegade route, because you need both light and dark, Paragon, Renegade. You need to have some bad and some good at the same time. So yeah, but anyways, I think I'll leave the rant there for now. Okay, we are out of spoiler territory, and actually, one moment. Alright, I'm back. Sorry for the pause there. I had to go take my dog outside for a walk. Hold on a second, Alon. Take a look over there. Hi, Cannon. Looks like we caught a straggler. Venom would be so proud. He's heading towards Fort Rystrein. What's he doing out so late? We're out late too. Maybe to see Sierra. I'll go with this one. I think no matter what, it doesn't add or subtract points. Yes, both are neutral. Why would he want to go see Sierra? But I can't imagine any other reason why he'd want to go to Fort Rystrein. It's not that I have a bad feeling about this, I just don't want him to get hurt. Let's follow him. And I think that's fair. You just want to be cautious and make sure that he's safe. I get it. Ahem. May I come in? What in the... No, you may not enter. Please, it's kind of cold out here. Fine. Thank you. Have you been standing in this exact spot since we left? Yes. And can you blame me? You left me with a lot to think about, but that's besides the point. Did you bring me the items I demanded? Of course not. Then you can leave. Do you need a talk? I feel as though I am the one most qualified to do so. There's nothing to talk about. Your attitude begs to differ, I'm afraid. I'm not giving up on her. Lady Angie means everything to me. She was the one who created me after all. This whole abandoning thing, I don't believe it's true. But certainly you've noticed the tethering between you has snapped. You said it yourself, you can't even sense her anymore. Either she is dead or she has let you go. Which do you find most likely? Do you like watching me break down? What are you trying to do to me? Yes, I'm trying to break down your old mindset. Just as mine was, I want you to see the world before you. You are free now. Huh? You're your own person. The decisions you make from now on will be from you and only you. Angie won't be there to lead you anymore. Your fate is yours. You say it so casually, as if it's easy. It's not easy. I don't know what this is. Do you hear me? What do you do when you have nothing? You have me, someone who understands your position. Call it an act of kindness or an act of camaraderie. But don't push me away, at least not yet. I tried to kill you, so? I don't know. I can't understand you. I didn't understand myself either. You're talking in circles now. I'm going to keep doing so until it hits your dense head. Enough of this. Leave now. Very well. Wait. You can come back if and only if you bring at least something to drink next time. This stupid desert is killing my throat. Very well. Cannon, I'm so proud of you. Let's go home alone. December 15th, a light of family. Tempa? I believe we need to talk. Something is wrong. I sense a disturbance, a tear in the space-time continuum. It took you long enough. You knew? For a couple of days, yes, I've noticed the discrepancies, however you say that word correctly. This is something we obviously cannot stand for. We must make a move and remove the inconsistencies at once. Must we? What are you on about? It is our rule to keep things in line, always in line. If anything is taken out of order, then the whole world will warp and shift into destruction. But I cannot even pinpoint the source of this phenomenon to begin with. Yes, you're right. I've noticed that as well. Is something interfering with our sight of the human realm? I believe so. But what? Whom? Left unchecked, the phenomenon will cause more and more tears. The barriers that divide a person from their alternate selves will start to crumble. Catastrophe is within our midst. My darling sister, forgive my betrayal, but this is the will of the Interceptor, and by thy rule we must obey for the safety of all of us. Destruction in some cases is inevitable. You and I know more than anyone. And again, going off of that real quick, when she said those final words, again, they were once, if I'm not mistaken, and if I'm correct on that, sorry, that was my chair there, volunteers of old Earth. They know destruction, they know pain, they understand if things get a little wonky and a little wacky, then people, lives, space and time, all these kind of things fall out of line, they go in disarray, and it's not good, it's not pretty. They must stay in line with their orders and their roles. However, Temp over here is like, look, I kind of know what's going on. Malia, Alon, they're messing around with Zite, obliteration spell. I know what you two are up to, but I'm not going to stop you. My sister, on the other hand, yeah, probably be on site. Me, this is by, you know, our role to not interfere with what the Interceptor wants. I'm wording my words really carefully here to not get into like spoiler stuff, but as she said, it is our duty and we're not supposed to interfere with the Interceptor stuff, so yeah. And again, it goes back to that warning that she gave. Look, I'm not going to stop you, Malia and Alon, but just keep in mind, you guys do what you gotta do, but I have to do what I have to do when the time comes. We understand each other? Cool, yeah, okay, I'm on out of here, bye. I'm gonna leave you guys back at the gear and, you know, park area where you both had your picnic when you first arrived, so yeah. But anyways, really interesting to see that, and I really appreciate the whole canon thing as well, going back to Sierra, having a conversation with her, and I'm really curious to see what that evolves into down the line. Who knows, but as always, time will tell. I think we'll keep this as a shorter episode, and we'll start anew on another day, so yeah. Love you guys, take care of yourselves out there, drink you some water, get some exercise, be productive today, do something good for yourself. Love you guys, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next episode. Good morning.